What day is this?
It's Mail It In Friday.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Go OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, and up on TSN 4. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan.
What's going on today?
What's going on today?
Today, what about last night? There was something wrong last night where there was all kinds of goofy things happening, Hazy B. Let's start with congrats to you and your boy, Al's brother.
Yeah, it was a great pick.
It was a great pick. But I must say, Dable wanting to fight the team doctor when Dart went in there was the most desperate thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, have you ever seen anything like that?
Well,
for him to say, I think he tried to backtrack after the game where he was like, I'm concerned about the player's safety. Like, Russ Wilson must look at that and be like, that guy, it's like he attached himself to Dart and was like, this is my only way out of this, and this is turning for me, and I'm like, this guy's in that blue tent, and I desperately need him back. And he literally was yelling at the team doctor. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, he was.
Like there was a series of events last night. You go to the Philly pitcher, the San Jose goalie, Detroit's coach, like giving them a March 15th, like, tearing a strip. It was crazy last night. But this guy yelling at the team doctor was so desperate. I've never seen anything like that.
Well, the best thing is that doctor, he probably went to Columbia or Harvard or something.
Dude, no kidding.
And he's so qualified.
Imagine him, like bald Dable, yelling at him, saying, where the hell's my quarterback? And he must be like, is this guy insane?
Yeah, insanity. And I totally agree with you because I was going to get to the point you just made. If you're Russell Wilson, you're horsing the sideline saying, this Dable hates me.
Yes.
Despises what I represent and is so shook. He took 2 snaps. And Dable almost got himself fined like $250,000 for fighting a doctor on the sideline.
Dude, I've never seen anything like it. I know. I've never seen anything like it. And what the hell happened to the Eagles, man? Like getting crushed by 2 rookies?
Yeah.
Your boy, this new dude, Scattaboo?
Scattaboo. Yeah, he puts his head down and runs, man. There's not a lot of detail.
Fires his gear off after the game. Like the Eagles, man, I thought they were just poised to just dominate for a long time, and now they look like they're a mess.
They do. Long season, 4-2. Long season, but still 4-2, and not looking great. Chance the Chiefs go 2-4 on Sunday night. Look at Scattaboo. Just
look at this guy.
Who wants a piece? He is an animal in the backfield. But yeah, what a win by the Giants. And you're right, Dable needs Jackson Dart. Everything that Dart and Scattaboo and that defense represent, that has the possibility of keeping his job in New York. It's the only way he survives.
I don't want to get crazy, though. Like, the Giants, they're still the Giants.
They still stink.
Right.
Yes.
Like that,
it's more about the Eagles, in my opinion, what happened last night.
Win a couple in a row. Dart's a nice story. But, that's it. They're still the Giants. It's the Eagles that stink right now.
Yeah, but Dable's probably trying to convince himself that maybe they're not the Giants. Maybe that these 2 rookies can take him down a different road than they were going on. Because what you just mentioned is desperation. And he's delusional, and he's like, this could go down maybe a different road, and maybe we're not that bad. But he'll come back down to earth.
Yeah. Do you think he sent a bottle of wine to that doctor today, or gift basket, something to try to straighten that out?
In all seriousness, do you not think he's in big time trouble today?
It would not surprise me if the league called the owner or the president and said, you talk to your guy, and if that ever happens again, it's big trouble. Big trouble. Because and it could be the PA, in all honesty, too. Yeah. The reason the doctor is down there and they've got the tent
protect the player.
Is to protect the players. Exactly. Yeah. And I get it's a physical, crazy game. You guys have talked about it, going into the dark room and trying to lie your way out of it or try to, memorize what you're supposed to say to get back on the ice. And same thing in football, and it's a quarterback. If that's any other position, he's not as concerned about getting him back on the field. But you take Jackson Dart off the field, and Dable is all of a sudden in a very dark place.
Well, imagine like a guy saying to you, close your left eye and pick up your right foot. And then all you hear is, I need to know if I'm going to take a timeout. Because that was what Dable was saying. He was like, I needed to know if I was going to take a timeout. And you could tell the reporters were so grossed out. They were like, a potential head injury to your young quarterback, and all you cared about was the timeout.
Exactly. Yeah, and again, Russell Wilson has won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is more than capable of snapping the ball and handing it off to somebody. And Dable's head was exploding last night.
It is true, though.
But it worked out. And listen, as Dable by the end could smile, everyone's having a good time. Todd McClellan has broken a new record, man.
Dude.
He set a new bar. Call the Guinness Book of Records, because I have never seen a coach melt down after one game. Game one, he wants to kill the Red Wings. He hates his team. Game one.
Yeah.
We got to play it. We got to play it. Let's play it, because we got to play it before we can even. You guys tell me how you would respond if you're in that room after the first game of the season. They did get pumped. The Habs had played the night before. Here is Todd McClellan basically giving his team a warning, a pep talk. We'll see how the guys describe it after the game last night.
We just played the game. We didn't play to win the game. And we have no chance. And the players will say, they probably have already said to you that, we can fix this. We can when it's time. Some of them have been doing it for years. It's time. We just spent 3.5 weeks at training camp dealing with these situations. Now, if it happened once or twice in a game, it'd be okay. But there's maybe 6 or 7 outnumbered rushes at the end of the first period.
Dude, that's very concerning, especially because they probably had the coming to Jesus meeting in training camp saying, guys, if we're actually going to pull out of this, and he would show them clips of time and time again from last year or whatever they've been doing that's been driving them crazy, and say, this is a starter. This is a starter for us to even have a chance. And if you guys continue to do this, and they went out there and did it game one, and for everybody in the organization to have to listen to that, that would be concerning. I know Peter Laviolette lost it in training camp one time. Training camp, so he beats one game in. But one game in, and you're already in a pissing fight with your players, that's concerning.
Saying it publicly, Noodles.
Well, that's the thing. Like, what he's saying publicly, that's the end of the line. He's probably said a bunch of things privately as well. Like, that's in watching that, obviously I didn't get a chance. My game was going on at the same time, but you go back and watch the recap, and it's like he's horrified. I will say this. I don't know. I'm sure you guys talked about it yesterday. Watching the games this week, I would say there's one thing that stands out for me is, why do they have an exhibition season? Because these are exhibition games that are just, the guys are just shaking off the rust in the games.
Right.
Like and it's going to be worse next year where they've cut that in half, and there's 4 games and abbreviated
no
camp. No fitness testing. But the games, some of them have been exciting. Like, I thought my game last night was at least pretty exciting. Other ones have been kind of dull, and you're like, God, these guys can't make a pass. There's been lead changes, all sorts of things going on in the league. But for the most part, right from Tuesday up to Friday now, and watching some of these games, sloppy is the one word that comes to mind with all of it. Just sloppy. For Todd McClellan to have a meltdown on top of that, because the whole league's been sloppy. His team was worse than sloppy. And they got pumped on, home opener, all of that type of stuff. Goalie couldn't make a save.
Well, that didn't help. John Gibson gets pulled 8 shots in.
That's another thing.
That's
this
a problem.
guy, they brought him in because they've had goaltending issues, and he was no good last night. He was no good. So there's so many things. Todd McClellan looked like his head was going to pop off, because he's like, I don't have the answer. we got 81 more of these.
Right. And
like,
he just got there for the most part. Like, he just arrived in Detroit. And, I think it's also who they lost to. Montreal blew past Detroit last year. I'm sure that shook up the organization. Like, I'm sure Steve Yzerman and ownership looked at that and said, wait a minute. We started our whole thing before they did. Yeah. And Montreal has blown past us and probably got home and looked, at the TSN app and said, wait a minute, Ottawa went down to Tampa and beat them. We kind of were on the same path as Ottawa. Why are they way ahead of us? And that is I think maybe more to do with the GM and the vision. Let's face it, man. Steve Yzerman, it just hasn't worked for him. Like, it hasn't been a good run since he arrived. Like, it was an unbelievable run in Tampa, and what he left them was just all world. It was incredible. Yeah. And the hope was he'd get to Detroit and just replicate that, and it simply hasn't happened. And listen, the Leafs are playing them tomorrow night. So this will be very curious. The Leafs, they didn't love their game the other night, but they found a way to win.
Yeah.
But
how many goalies do you got to go through, Hayes? Like, they probably thought, okay, Gibson, finally we got the answer here. And for the coach to watch their team, if it's odd man rushes and cheating offensively to get chances, and it's like this is the last year you think it's going to finally stop, like, that would drive you nuts and make you go onto that podium.
Sure. Yes.
Because it's just like, what the hell do I – and his final comment was, I guess I'll just have to drill it into them again. Which basically means I don't know if I can really drill this into these guys. When you throw it out there, I got to try to drill it into them again. Like,
Leafs better be ready, man. They got a home and home with Detroit. They better be ready. Saturday, Monday. Better be ready.
That's the trap game of all trap games, because you're reading these comments and going, these guys, we're going to put up a 5 or a 7 spot, and you're right. There will be a response. They're pros. They've got good players in Detroit. Haven't played well, but I'm perplexed. Like, Todd McClellan, it might be a culture thing for him saying, I'm not dealing with this as far as we're nipping this right at the butt right now. Game 1, that's not good enough. But, for him to be that vocal after one game, it shows there's something that he has seen for 2.5, 3 weeks that he hasn't liked. And he thought, okay, maybe the guys will knuckle down. Because, with preseason, guys get out of the way of a shot, a little softer play here or there.
No, but Jamie, he must be thinking, not disappointed looking at it. He must be thinking, how the hell could I be watching this with these guys that are they should be so desperate to make the playoffs? How could I be looking at this?
Well, I think the most damning comment was his first one, where he said, "We just played the game. We didn't play to win."
Yeah,
that's a wild comment, man. That's a if I can get on the game sheet, my hair's wet after the night, I'm okay. Like, I'm out of here and I think I'm okay. That's that's a damning comment. And again, the Leafs have got Detroit tomorrow and then Monday afternoon. And if they're going to play like last night, you get a great opportunity to start your season here, right? Yes. Stolarz will go tomorrow. I presume Stolarz will go on Monday. We're a couple days into the season here, and we're getting Easton Cowan questions every single day. I don't think he's going to play tomorrow. Maybe he plays on Monday. I would guess Berube is going to get to a point where he's going to go to Tree Living and say, you got to get him out of here if he's not playing. Like,
I'm tired of answering the question.
Can't answer every single day on Cowan. Like, I don't even want to play the clips. Every day, Doogie and JP, they're doing their jobs, but they're like, we got Cowan clips. I'm like, I can't do it every single day. I'm not doing Cowan updates every day. If he's not playing, he's not playing. But if that's how I'm reacting, how do you think Craig Berube is reacting?
Oh, he's probably close to saying, like, listen, guys, don't ask me about Easton Cowan. If there's an update and he's going to play, I will let you know because I can't do it.
Exactly.
I also think, though, guys, if you take a look at their schedule, they've got 5 games in 7, 8 days here. Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Am I wrong with that? I think.
And then I think Monday, Tuesday, the next week. I think too.
Yeah. Well, no, I think Tuesday is Devils at Maple Leafs. So you add that all up. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 6 games, and we'll call it 9 days, 10 days. I think they're looking at that going, we're going to find a hole here. There is going to be injuries. There's going to be inconsistencies. Game 1, you guys talked about it. I'm not going to go over it with you again. It was sloppy. They found a way to get it. They didn't love their game. They kind of looked, some weird at times. But all teams have done that the first game.
The whole league has been funky early in the year.
Really weird. But I think they're going, okay, the Marlies get up and running next weekend. Like, there is still some time here. I think they have the luxury of time with the amount of games pressed together. The bigger question is, I think there's going to be another goalie playing, right? Caden Primo's probably going to get a start, I would say, Tuesday against Nashville, right?
Yeah, well, someone's playing the back-to-back, unless you're Calgary, which also I found crazy that Wolf played last night.
Well, I don't, because I don't think they trust their backup there.
But Noodles, it went to overtime in a shootout the night before.
8 shots.
How do you start your season not trusting your backup?
How do you play Wolf in a back-to-back? And Vancouver looked very good, to their credit. And listen, Calgary storms back and wins the game, and they had announced it, I believe, right after the game. Like, we're flying to Vancouver and Wolf's playing, but I couldn't believe he played last night.
The only thing I could say, and again, like, Edmonton gave that game to the Flames. They didn't earn
But Wolf had to make 31 stops.
But that's my point. The only reason that game went to Calgary is Dustin Wolf was unbelievable.
Right.
Because that 3-0, if they had just a regular goaltender in there, Edmonton puts the hammer down. He made a couple big saves, one on Draisaitl in tight, one on RNH in tight, and then the Oilers got loose and gave it away, and Stuart Skinner just, I don't know what the hell he was doing.
Skinner was pulling the
Noodles. How many times can they go back to Wolf and say, you're going the next night too? Like, that's the first two games of the season, and how many bullets do they have left doing that to that guy?
I don't know.
I'm sure he's a gamer, but sooner or later it's going to be like, really, is this the best thing for my health and my kind of safety going into the net? No other goalie wants to do that. No other goalie does it.
No one else does, for the most part.
And you're right. Like, it's not like I'm not more questioning. I'm more just looking at, like, Calgary. It wasn't like they were world beaters against Edmonton. They just, Edmonton was no good and went to sleep, and Wolf literally gave them a chance to win that game. The minute it went to a shootout, I'm like, they're winning. This guy isn't allowing a pee by.
No, exactly.
He's that good. Like, I think he has a chance to be a superstar goaltender, where Calgary doesn't really have a lot of superstar names. Got a lot of good players. Nazem Kadri's a hell of a player. We all know the guys on the team.
They were right. They were almost in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, 96 points.
It's a long season to go back-to-back right off the hop. I just found that very strange.
I couldn't believe that either, man.
I think there is probably a few teams in this league, and one might be here, depending on the health of Joseph Woll whenever he comes back, that goes, we don't love our backup situation. We know we got a guy that we trust to put in there every night. Calgary's Dustin Wolf, Anthony Stolarz, but I think there's other teams looking at it going, I would rather take our chance with 80% of Wolf than 100% of right now it's Cooley if they go and bring somebody else in. Like, I look at it, but with the Leafs schedule, there's no getting around it. They play Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like, that's... You need somebody.
Stolarz isn't clearly
play all of
playing
that.
Those
that
games.
would be that wouldn't be fair to him. But I you look at Caden Primo, and it was brought up to me recently, which I think is a fair point. Caden Primo's a young goaltender in Montreal in a rebuild. Not a lot of goaltenders that are going to look good in that situation. Let's see what he looks like on a good defensive team, veteran D,
a
team that could score, a team that could score, like all of that type of stuff. So I think, I want to have a clean slate for Caden Primo because maybe he's got skill. There's no doubt about that. But he's played in a rebuild. He hasn't played when Montreal turned the corner. He was gone. So let's see what he has for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Kind of excited to see. I think it'll be Tuesday.
Yeah, I would for sure. They're not. Stolarz is going to play Saturday, either Monday or Tuesday. I mean, maybe they'll play the other guy on the Monday. But I'm a little surprised it won't be Hildeby. I guess they're going to give Primo a shot, and they've claimed them, obviously.
Just for familiarity alone.
Yeah, and they like Hildeby. They gave him a contract, and, this year it's a two-way. Next year it'll be a one-way, and he had a pretty good camp.
Yeah.
So they have some options. I'm a little surprised it won't be Hildeby, and maybe it will be. We'll find out, but it sounds like it'll be Primo, I guess. And
you know what? I may have misspoke, too, though. You're right. It could be Hildeby where it's like, Hildeby is the guy who can go and play games, and Primo can be a placeholder here, too.
Right.
And then Hildeby comes up to play and then goes back down because they want to keep him playing this year.
That's a bizarre scenario to be like, I'm going to be down, but then I'm going to be back up. Hey, guys, it's me. I'm your teammate, but I'm only part-time. That's bizarro world, man.
It is, but I think they've got the luxury because he doesn't need waivers. So you can go put Hildeby down, get him getting a bunch of shots, get him into a game, and then – if Primo if he needs a start, you put Hale to be up here. He starts, and then kind of go from there. That's the luxury of having it. Really, you should have 3 goaltenders on your roster nowadays.
Yes,
really
and that's coming. That is going to be a part of the new CBA. And I think the fear is if you have to put someone on waivers, Mike Greer might personally drive to pick that guy up and have him play in San Jose.
Hurt. I sent that to you guys this morning.
Dude.
My heart hurt.
What was Nedeljkovic doing on both of them? And what's crazy is San Jose had such a great opportunity to ice the game with the net open. Vegas was so lucky to somehow stop the open net scenario. And then,
dude, it was Patrick Stefan on steroids. Remember that Patrick Stefan play?
This one, the wraparound here.
How does that not go in? How is that not in? And then they're like Toffoli's down there deep and.
Yeah, but watch this shot from Jack Eichel just over center ice.
This is a lob wedge.
Flip dunk it. It's a flip dump in. It's like
sickening.
If you look from behind the net here, like Eklund tries to jam it, he just falls down. Okay, so listen, that's
such
sucks.
a sharky
but watch
play.
this.
But I will say this, guys, before
wide.
you continue, Noodles, that's a great play by Eichel to poke check at the last second on the first kind of breakaway.
Yeah, sure.
100%.
It's a sharky ending, though, man. It's so sharky.
But Joe, if you play it again, the view from behind of Nedeljkovic, I think it's going wide on a short hop, and he presses to the left, and then it bounces to the right. That's the hardest part. So that's an awful goal to give up. That's your game-tying goal that sends you into overtime. 90 seconds later
Dude,
Joe,
give us this one too, because it's
like this one. So this one,
well.
if you the one behind, this short hops, but look at how far to the left he is. I don't know. I think you're trying to play it with your body, Toskala, that one. This is the angle
it with
right
your
here.
Body,
look at
Noodles.
It's going
Why
wide.
is he so far over there? It's
I don't know.
Why are you trying to get a puck that's missing the net? I'm not a goalie, but that looked crazy to me.
That was a crazy bounce. But then he follows it up.
In overtime, his controller gets disconnected, and he is floating around the blue line. look at this. Controller out. Uh-oh. And look at him. He can't. Oh, he almost threw a stick. He was so mad. You feel awful for the guy. You feel terrible. Who's that, Riley Smith?
He's just like, I can't believe I have this opportunity in overtime with an empty net like that. You're dying for one of those goals for confidence, and he's just like, thank you very much. I've never seen anything like that.
On the board.
Listen, I like that Nedeljkovic is a goaltender. Mm-hmm. San Jose brought him in to play with that Askarov. Nedeljkovic handles the puck well. He's got 2 goals. I think he scored 2 goals last year.
Well, he's got an assist now, too.
Well, he got a bad assist last night. But that's in watching that. Former goalie in me, my heart hurts.
It's sickening. I hear you, man.
But giving up 2 of them.
Sickening.
One
the game.
Is fine.
And by all accounts, Vegas was all over them, and he was the primary reason they were even close to getting a point.
But you don't remember that.
You will never remember that. Never, ever remember it.
It's just tough looking at Jamie. It's tough looking at the fellas afterwards where you're like...
Wow. Okay.
You're a guy on a breakaway with an empty net away from winning the hockey game, and then all of a sudden, 15 minutes later, you're walking in and everyone's pissed off, and you're just like, what did we just see there?
You know what it's like, though? After that game, you go and take your gear off. You're fine in the room. You walk into the shower, you kind of everything is kind of decompressed. Guys are just, that's the toughest walk. That's like a walk of shame. Because you're walking now, all the guys are everyone's showering, everyone's doing their. That's where it's awkward. And then the walk onto the bus, the walk onto the plane. They're at home though, but there is a lot of layers to that walk, and that
would
hurt
be
my
heavy,
heart
man.
for him.
That would be heavy. And it's just like the Phillies pitcher last night.
Oh, my Lord.
Instead of first, man.
That's worse, though, because
because that's the season on the line. They're shaking hands after that and going home. But it was Kerkering. I don't know if he blanked. I don't know if he thought it was 1 out. If he thought, okay, it's been too much time and I can't get to first.
The catcher's pointing.
Yes,
to first.
He's like, all right, first, we're out of the inning. Let's go win this ball game. No, and he just buckles, man. I think he just his brain
he did
froze on him.
It seized, and he was just like, I got to do something right here. and it got scrambly, and he bobbled it, and he just couldn't gain his composure. And the worst part is, it looked like he threw it home with the wrong hand. Like, you know how if you throw, like if you're a righty and you throw with a left hand, it looks really bad?
Yeah.
The throw, it looked like a kid throwing with the wrong arm.
Right.
This guy throws for a living. 90 feet or whatever, 60 feet. How far is that?
Yeah, 60, yeah.
60
I felt bad
feet.
for everybody else, like the teammates, the skip, like everyone was saying, we win and lose as a team, where it's just, I think you just have to say that because that's what you have to say, to say you're a good person and a good teammate. But they're all in disbelief that he did that. Like, disbelief.
Sure.
The 11th inning, they battled. They won Game 3 to stay alive.
Yes.
Game 5's back in Philly, where they'd feel great about winning that and going on to the championship series. And
throw it to first, and we got a chance to win this game and go back to Philly.
That's right.
And lost in all of that. Did the catcher blow his knee out on that play too? Didn't it look like they went knee on knee over the plate?
Didn't look comfortable because, like O said, the throw was such like an unnatural throw.
It was like he was trying to hit the mascot, but it's fine.
Look, watch this throw. Wrong. It's like he's throwing with the wrong arm.
But he throws it 8 feet wide. Like
it's such a panic play, man. It's just you could tell his heart was in his stomach, and he just froze. And like it was such a routine play to first base. He had so much time. He can turn and rifle that, and he gets him by 5 feet.
Is that their Buckner? Is that Philly's Buckner?
Ooh, that's possibly.
Dude,
I mean, Buckner was in the World Series, which, that's a different level of
Look at this
heartbreak.
knee on knee here. Look at that. Yeah. This guy's knee hyperextends. That
guy has to spend the rest of his offseason possibly in a knee brace, too, which makes it so much worse. All right, Mike Johnson coming up just after 5. A bunch of really great Dear Hazy B's today. We'll get to Dear Hazy B with it being Thanksgiving, right? We got to help people going into the weekend. We have to. And who do we have? Al's brother coming up and Luke Wilson coming up. Luke's got to come in and answer to Al's brother because Al's brother and Hazenbro, for that matter, are on an absolute heater. So we got picks for the weekend. Get his take on what happened last night. Luke coming up next.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Continues powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Mike Johnson in just over half an hour. Dear Hazy B in about an hour. We've got a big ball game tonight. Man, it must be fun to be a Blue Jays staff member, coaching staff, like get to saddle up at a bar or something, someone's basement. Maybe you're at the park and get to watch Mariners Tigers and think, come get some. Whoever wins tonight, you're flying to Toronto. We're waiting for you.
Who do you want? Who do you want personally?
I will answer that. As of now, it's Detroit, but if I see Skubal tonight pitch a gem, I might change my mind. And I may not be able to because if he does pitch a gem, it's going to be Detroit. Like the idea that Skubal's on the mound is terrifying if you're in Seattle. It has to be terrifying.
Totally dominate, and it's game over for Seattle.
Yep, it could be. And then he'll be Game 3, Game 7 of the next series. That's how you line up.
Smell what the Win Wilson is cooking.
There he is, Mr. Yankee. Mr. Yankee, how you feeling, pal? How are we feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I'll be honest, I was pretty impressed you guys took the Giants yesterday, so that was a tough pill to swallow, but I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm in Regina. I'm in Saskatchewan.
Nice.
God's country. Beautiful place.
God's
Giants.
country.
God's country. Yeah, that was a phenomenal pick. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. That was a world-class pick by Hazenbro last
I got
night.
to tip my cap.
Yeah, it was a good pick. And I guess John Mara, the owner of the Giants, has already issued a statement about.
Dude, it's such a lie, though. Do you want to? Are you going to read it?
Well,
or just,
yeah.
The gist of it is.
The gist of it is, Coach Dable understands, and he wasn't trying to actually manipulate. Blah 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 blah. But Dable was losing it on that doctor last night. And where do you stand on this, Luke?
I have two, let's call it two different opinions on it. As a fan, it's funny. Okay, it is funny to see him like Russ throws the incompletion. He's sitting there giving the hurry up. Like it is, there is that. It's funny. Like I gotta be honest. As an ex-player, it's disgusting. Where it's like, listen, this guy is in the medical tent because he had first time he took a million hits, but it was concussion protocol, and they slowed it down. I mean,
look at this guy climbing in the blue tent.
He is right in the
correct.
Dude, I've never said he's sticking his head in there.
And it's just like, dude, you can't be yelling at this isn't a coach on your team. This isn't a player. You don't get to yell at the team physician because he's following protocol on whether or not a guy is concussed and his brain is in trouble. You know, you don't get to go into the blue tent and be like, what's the situation? That's like, I would guess that immediately when that happened, you know, the NFLPA probably reached out to the powers that be. But it's going to be he's going to get fined to some degree. There'll be a memo sent to everybody. It's like wildly inappropriate. Again,
yeah, I thought
funny,
but it's wildly inappropriate. You don't think he's going to get in? I thought he was going to get in big trouble for that, man. I've never seen anything like that. Yelling, like Hayes was talking about it. That's the respected doctor, and a coach is yelling at him to get a player out of the tent. That is insane stuff.
And like I saw his post-game presser. He's like, I'm an emotional guy. I'm like, that's not. What are you, a kid? Are you a petulant child? Like We're all emotional. We don't scream at the team physician to get somebody on the field. And by the way, like if it was like a lightly sprained ankle and you're like, listen, dude, like we got to know what's the deal. It'd be a lot different than, the current state of head injuries in the NFL. I'm like, you can't be this stupid on the sideline. And to me, it kind of goes to the point here that like, I think Jackson Dart, this isn't like a crazy thing, but Jackson Dart is basically Brian Daboll's only hope of not getting fired. If he plays like he did last night, the rest of the year, Daboll's probably got a shot. You can just tell the guy's like, he's an emotional wreck. I mean, again, I don't even know what else to say. I thought it was brutal. From the professional side of it,
he's so desperate. Isn't he? Isn't it
Totally.
just the personification of desperation, man? Like he is basically grabbing Dart by the leg and trying to drag him onto the field. Like that's effectively what he was doing.
Bingo, Hayes. Again, it was funny from like you go on Twitter and you see all this stuff, and it's funny in that sense. But when you really peel back the layers of this onion, it's like it's pretty gross to think that he would act in that behavior.
So just for clarification, I asked the guys I'm going to ask you. The Giants aren't for real or anything like that, right?
No.
Like, I mean, is it more just about Philadelphia laying an egg?
Combo. I mean, I thought New York played very well, and I thought Jackson Dart played incredibly well. I didn't realize, coming in how much of an electric scrambler he would be. I obviously knew he was mobile, but he does a really good job of one, taking off, but also two, kind of extending plays. But some of the issue here is when you look at this, like the Thursday game plays into it, and quite honestly, Noodles, I was like Jalen Carter being hurt plays into it, but I was appalled by the effort that the Philadelphia Eagles were giving on some of their defensive plays. And when I say appalled, I'm just like it was gross for me to watch at times where I'm like, this is a team playing, granted, short week, but a divisional opponent that is, you got to think Philadelphia's thinking Super Bowl again, back to back, go to that rare air. That's at least their hopes and dreams. And there were a few plays that stuck out where I'm like, and they're banged up, but you saw the effort just horrible. And if you're coaching effort generally in the NFL, that's something you have to coach. There's a lot of problems in that locker room. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Start spreading the news.
Wow, what a pick, man. What a pick. New York needed you, Alice, brother. Like, the Yankees are junk.
They needed us.
They needed us. You're right.
Relax,
they did. They needed
boys.
us.
The Yankees needed Jazz Chisholm to turn two on a routine double play. Okay, my head's still it's going to explode over that.
Yeah, and he bungled it, just like you've been bungling your picks lately. You and the Yankees, same thing.
That hurts, man. That cuts deep. That cuts deep.
The Yankees
man.
need Anthony Volpe not to have a strikeout ratio at shortstop that's just ungodly. That's the Yankees need. Don't get me fired up, boys.
Yankees lose. Eagles lose. The Owen Wilson lose. Right, Alice, brother? What a pick last night.
Yes.
What a pick, man.
Hey, Cam Scatterbo. Told you guys. Came out last night. He was a dog.
You did?
Almost. I don't know. He had finished with 98 yards rushing. How do you not get him out there for one more rush just to get him over 100?
Because it's Dable.
Yeah.
Dable doesn't know what he's doing.
It's funny.
But
He's willing to get Dart out there out of the concussion tent, but won't get Scatterbo 2 extra yards.
Yeah. What are we doing? What are we doing, Dable?
No awareness whatsoever. But Al's brother, man, that tremendous information yesterday. There are people all around the world buzzing about that pick last night. And I'm proud of you, proud of us. That's all I'm going to say. All around the world, dude.
You're telling me that he talked you into it? You weren't going to do it, Hayes?
I was really on the fence and kind of leading Eagles, and then Al's brother came through with the win
Jonas
rates.
comes out, and Jonas is like, they lost to the Saints last week. I thought you were going to flip on me, Hazy B. I thought you were about to flip on me. But
I never
we stuck
could,
to the process.
Yep.
And it came through. That's right.
You're right. So we're +2, man. The dynasty rolls on, and what a scene we have this weekend because we have so many games, Al's brother. We might be, close to plus double digits by Monday night. Like, what a Thanksgiving this is going to be for the crew.
Oh.
The Jets are in London again, and the Broncos are over there. The Broncos are laying 7. Owen Wilson on the clock to start football on Sunday morning.
Yeah, lay up towards me. I don't know. You make the call, but I kind of
Denver all day. We're Denver all day.
Yeah.
There's no way with Denver's defense right now. There's no way we can bet on it, and also the Jets how they're playing and everything that's going on. There's just if we don't cover the spread parts, it's a good pick either way. There's just no way I can be your partner and say, I got an idea. Let's take the New York Jets.
Parts, we can make this selection based on just Twitter. Just on Twitter, the tweets that are coming out. This Jets team has quit, and they just don't care. Like, when those are starting to come out, we don't even hesitate. We don't even hesitate.
Yeah.
Well, half the fan base wants them to stay in London. Like, if they lose the game, just stay there. Like, don't even return to New York.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think that's probably the play. Like you said, even if there's a miraculous backdoor cover somehow, you can't sleep at night being on the Jets. We just did it.
No.
We could tell you from experience, you can't.
Yeah, it sucked.
Not do it.
It wasn't a fun watch.
It was not.
I don't
fun.
understand the Jets. Like they're so bad. Like 0 takeaways and only 3 sacks. We're through 5 weeks of the season, and you haven't forced a single fumble, not a single pick, and you've only sacked the quarterback 3 times. Like, how do you even sit there as the DC and say, yeah, I feel all right. We'll be okay against Denver, who just went in and beat the Eagles, who's played some pretty good football. Like, this could be a blowout.
It seems impossible to believe that stat you just laid out, but it's true. And Aaron Glenn's a defensive head coach. It's crazy. All right, Seahawks, Jags. This one is a Doogie special, but we expect it. We want it. We want challenges. Seahawks laying points, 1.5 at the Jags. Al's brother, where's your head at?
Yeah, it's flipped, too, because I think at the beginning of the week, the Jags were favored in this one. So it's flipped over to the Seahawks, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that it's flipped because that lets us take the Jags and get some points on the side because this is going to be a real tight one. I think it's basically almost a pick 'em. So if I can get the home team with some points, I kind of like it. I tell you what, Seattle, they couldn't get much pressure on Baker last week, and he sat back and threw and made, 38 points, I think, without Bucky Irving, without Mike Evans. So I think Jacksonville, what they've shown over the last couple of weeks is they're for real, and I think they can really put a stamp on things this season if they can go in and beat Seattle at home. So I like them. I like the Jags. I think I'm on Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars to cover the number at home.
Okay. Yeah,
Partsy, if Denver covers, we're even. If Denver covers, and this is Doogie just gave these guys a layup of the year, and they went through. I mean, these guys.
This is one of, if not the longest.
It's the 2 blind mice.
This is like as long of a trip as you can get. Darnold on the East Coast, man, he's going to get New York Jet flashbacks. It's going to get ugly for him. And
he's guaranteed to throw a pick.
100%. He hates
the Jaguars lead the NFL in takeaways.
That's right.
Like, they're literally leading the NFL. Darnold, guaranteed. Seeing goes, couple picks, maybe a fumble.
Dude. Ghosts will be very, very, very evident in this game. And you're right, that Jags kind of no-name defense is flying, man, turning over balls everywhere, and they're coming off a long week. They got a long week here, man. They're good. They're ready to rock. They're ready to play. At home, they just came off that Kansas City win on the Monday night. Listen, I'm worried a little bit about that, the fact that it's a bit of a letdown because you just had the biggest win maybe in franchise history in the regular season. But I'm on the Jags with you, bud. I'll take the points at home. Trevor Lawrence.
Let's do it.
Let's take it. Jags at home. We're taking the points. All right, Niners-Bucks. Niners at Bucks. You guys are on the clock. Bucks laying 3 at home. This is a layup. Dude, he's just trying to keep you guys in the race here.
Don't listen to these guys. I'll be honest, Partsy, I had a tough time with this one.
Yeah,
I am
too.
unless you're the other way here. I am leaning Bucks, partially because of a man named Vita Vea. I think he'll control the run game. Right now, Mac Jones is going to play, but he's limited in practice. He's a little banged up. Purdy still hasn't practiced yet. It looks like Jennings is going to be back, but Pearsall isn't. We don't know. Like, there's a lot of we don't knows here. I just. You got to respect San Fran. They found ways to win games. They beat the Jags a couple weeks ago, beat the Rams. So I do worry about that. But in the same sense, like, Baker's on fire right now. I think we got to ride the hot hand. I think we got to ride this hot hand, Partsy. But I'm willing to go the other way if you want it.
No, I like the Baker hot hand parts.
Yeah,
ride the wave. Ride the wave, man.
Yeah. Doogie handing over winners.
I don't think it's a layup.
Touchdown.
Hey, I don't know, man.
Dude, Bucks are really good, man. Bucks are good. Bucks are a good team.
Bob Saleh so are the Niners. Niners are a good football team.
They're too depleted,
They're
man.
banged up.
They're too depleted.
So are the Bucks.
We said that.
I mean, you look at the injury report. Mike Evans is out. Chris Godwin is out. Bucky Irvin is out. Their entire offense is going to be out. You only are going to have the quarterback, who's special. Baker's had a great year. Might be your leading MVP.
Don't try to go against your own partner and against
it's not even a pick, so it doesn't matter.
Excuse me, I misspoke. The only loss Niners have is against the Jags. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, I think
even that was a greasy. Yeah, so it's like they beat everybody. They beat the Seahawks. Right. They made a play late. Like, the Niners are a good football team. They're veterans. They know how to win. They're well coached. I'm going with the Bucks, but I don't love it, Parksy. Right. I'll be honest. I don't love it.
You're on the Bucks. All right, brother, I'm good with the points there then.
I kind of like being on the Niners, man.
All right.
Like, that's a beaten, battered down team in Tampa.
All right. You know how I stand on Baker, man. I just feel like Baker's going to find a way to win that game. But all right, Lions, Chiefs.
Win by 2.
That's true.
They can win by 2.
Very possible.
Here's the tough
Lions,
one, boys. I can't wait to
Chiefs.
hear this.
This is real tough, man. Like, the Chiefs are as desperate as it gets in football right now. They're 2-3. And the Lions 4-1. They've been playing great, man. To their credit, they have played outside of that Packer game opening week. They have beaten up teams. Like, taken on a fight and said, let's go, and they win that fight every single week. Chiefs laying 2.5 at home. House brother, the floor is yours.
Oh, I kind of need some input on your gut instinct on this one. I do need a little bit of gut instinct here before I weigh in with my information that I got. Where's your head at, Partsy?
My gut instinct tells me the Lions are just better.
He can't make the big pick.
No, listen. We made it last night.
We made it last night.
Last night, taking the Giants on a Thursday night. This is the big one, boys.
This is a big.
Let's hear it. Just make the pick.
Gut
Hayes.
tells me Chiefs have to win. It's like we've said that a few times already this year. Literally must win. You go to 2-4. I think you're done. The Broncos are going to beat the Jets. I think the Chargers are in a good spot. Like, you're basically, you lose this game if you're the Chiefs. You're hoping to backdoor wild cards. You have to win. And the Lions, man, they've been good though lately. Like, that's the thing. I think the Lions are going to win the line of scrimmage, which scares me a little bit. But it just feels like a game the Chiefs have got to find a way to win. Under the lights, Arrowhead, I lean Kansas City with the gut. Lean.
Yeah, feels like this is one where Mahomes just has to go Superman. And if there's one guy in the league who's been capable of doing that time and time again, it is Patrick Mahomes. So, you get him by less than a field goal at home. Here's another thing, too. You just know Dan Campbell will be so eager to beat Andy Reid and the Chiefs. He's going to make some sort of stupid, aggressive play call. It's going to cost Detroit points. Yeah. I just know it. You know it. And Andy Reid and this team, they will not. They played super sloppy last week. I think he'll demand more of this team. I think we can go with the Chiefs. I can roll with that one. Chiefs,
like that.
Less than a field goal at home under the lights. Let's take them.
Okay. Lock it
Parks,
in.
I'll be
Chiefs.
honest with you. I'll
Lock it
never
in.
come on here and lie. I'll never come on here and lie like Al's brother just did. He wants no part of this pick. He just sat there and didn't want to go against the captain over there, Hazy B.
No, it's a tough game.
Not.
It's a tough game.
Campbell wants to beat Andy Reid more so than anyone else.
Dude,
what a line.
Dan Campbell will be in the medical tent on Sunday night. He'll be in the medical tent.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah, you like me. I wouldn't mind being on the Lions either. I'll be honest. This is like a 51-49 pick. This is a tough pick, man. It's a tough pick. But that's what we get. Doogie's lined up the whole season, trying to take down a dynasty. Right? That's what he's done. We're Kevin Durant's Achilles.
Detroit's missing their 2 starting corners. They're missing a safety. I mean, Mahomes should be able to pick apart that secondary and put points on the board. So
Has to. All right, boys. Picks are locked, man. This could be a beatdown by Sunday night with 2 Monday nighters. Like, this could be the immaculate week of immaculate weeks, Al's brother. And the only way it could start is with a win last night. What a pick, man. Giants money line. Forget the points. We'll take the Giants on the money line last night. All right, boys. Have yourselves a great Thanksgiving. We'll chat next week.
Turkey and dubs all weekend, boys. Turkey and dubs all weekend.
Yeah, turkey and dubs. There it is. Al's brother and Luke Wilson. All right, we got Mike Johnson coming up in 15 minutes on Leafs Detroit tomorrow night. What he's made of the first week or first few days of the NHL season. Dear Hazy B coming up. And again, the Jays, they start Sunday night. Game 1 down at the Dome. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Sure, Hazy B. Detroit went into KC, first game of the year last year, and did some damage.
Yes.
I don't know if you recall that. I don't know. There were some trick plays. There was all kinds of stuff, fake punts.
Yeah.
Watch
Here's
out.
what I'm going to say. This is likely, can't say it definitively, but likely the last time I say I believe in the Chiefs, or this is a must-win for the Chiefs, or they're going to get up off the mat and return to, the stellar play of who the Chiefs were in the past. And it's not that they can't get back there.
It's your
in the
last
future.
kick at the can with the Chiefs?
What I'm saying is they've had tough games, and I'm always like, I think they get this, and they've lost a couple of those, right? I'm like, I thought they could get the Jags, didn't. Thought they'd get this team or that team, didn't. So, they have a really tough schedule. They play really tough teams. But I keep waiting for them to, arrive again. And it's like, we're too clutch, and we're going to find a way to win. And this is a big, big moment for them to prove, okay, we're still the Chiefs. I guess that's what I'm saying. And we'll find out Sunday night. All right, Leafs, Red Wings tomorrow night. We'll get to that and more coming up with Johnny. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
Friday.
The plant called and said if you don't come in tomorrow, don't bother coming in Monday.
Woohoo! 4-day weekend. This is Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Hour 2 Overdrive continues, brought to you by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan. We're up on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. And we got Mike Johnson coming up here in a few moments. Dear Hazy B a little bit later in the hour. Best bet still to come. Leafs are 1-0. 1-0. Jays are sitting pretty. It's a good time in Toronto right now.
I might have a Dear Hazy B for both of you. I had 2 traumatic things happen to me while I was down in Tampa.
Uh-oh.
Traumatic is a bit of a stretch, but I mean, here's the first one. You get to the hotel. Listen, I travel so much, right? So you get into your room. I got a couple bottles of water, go to throw them in the fridge, the mini fridge. And I open it up, and there's cockroaches scattered.
No.
Dude, that's an
literally
thing.
Cockroaches?
So I took a picture of the one that was just laying there with his sunglasses on, and I was like, all right. And I'm not a complainer, so I Call the front desk. I'm like, I think we got something going here.
Yeah.
The lady was like, I'm sorry, come down, whatever. And they switched me rooms, but it kind of weirded me out.
Dude, I'd be out of there, man.
No, never sleep. It's got to be a different hotel.
It's a brand new hotel, though, like a nice hotel. It's just, I don't know what happened. And it wasn't like I was like on the first floor or whatever. Like, I think it was on the 7th or 8th floor. 8th floor or 7th floor. Like, it was.
That's infestation, dude.
I don't know.
You got to Frank Costanza that and get out, man.
So that was like, that kind of weirded me out. So then that night I go and have a good workout, and they have a laundry, like a washer and dryer on the 8th floor. So I'm like, no problem. The Leaf game's on. I put it on. I'm watching Leaf Montreal. After the first period, I go and throw it in the dryer, press start in that. I come back and somebody has stolen my underwear. Like, not my workout stuff, but the underwear was gone. Like, not, okay, like,
dude,
not
that's on some
else.
Guy's head right
that's
now.
That's what I'm saying.
Unfortunately.
I don't even know what to say about that. That's bizarro world.
That's real weird, and that's a proclivity that someone's got.
I kept thinking, you're right. There's going to be a 7-Eleven robbed last night, and a guy's going to have a pair of gaunch on his head with 2 eye holes cut into it,
with
and it'll be mine.
on the back.
With a 29 on the back. It was. I didn't know which one to be more weirded out by. Like I think it's the gaunch, the ginch or whatever.
I would be concerned about that. Like the cockroaches aren't going to get you. Yeah. The other guy, he might be might be lurking, dude.
Yeah.
That was.
He wants. I don't even know what to say about that. I've never heard anything like that my entire life.
I'm lucky that I travel with an extra set of stuff.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I thought, okay, well maybe it's stuck in the wash. It wasn't. Like there's only 6 pieces of laundry. It's 2 socks, underwear, shorts, shirt, and sweat jacket. That's it. And I count them when I throw it in. The gaunch was gone.
Dude.
Like, it was weird.
That's actually worthy of, like, online reviews.
Yes.
Like, I've never done that in my life.
No, it's also worthy of reviewing some tape to see who went in there to take. I actually think there's an honest mistake where it's stuck underneath the lip or something. Like, who goes in and says, I just need a pair of underwear. I'm going to steal that guy's that just went in there. It's not. I don't think anyone in their right mind.
What if there's tape and it's someone from TSN?
Yeah.
How do you respond?
Sam Cicerello. Actually, Gord wasn't there at the time. Gord was flying in, so we can blame Sam Cicerello.
I think you say, all right, just get rid of the tape. Forget I asked. But you footnote that one for down the road.
It was It was a weird situation.
Dude, that's like a Hitchcock film, man. That's like where Psycho was filmed or something. You can't go back there next time Ottawa plays down there.
That was my dear Hazy B. I thought to myself, I don't know if I should bring it up on air, and then I thought I got to ask the boys.
That's weird
ridiculous.
Stuff. Well, Johnny travels as much, if not more, than anyone. We'll ask him if he's run into any of those situations.
Yeah.
Joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline, here's our TSN hockey analyst, Mike Johnson. Johnny, have you ever used a public washer and dryer and had your underwear stolen while doing that?
What?
Yeah. Noodles did some laundry down in Tampa, and somebody stole his underpants.
I mean, there's like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't even do my laundry in public. Probably, I would not go to a laundromat, and because that seems like it's already rife with its own hazards. Let alone having someone pilfer. Like, aren't those doors kind of locked until they're done? What is going on? What kind of in Tampa? Where did you go in Tampa?
Yeah.
There's no laundromats close to hotels. Where were you staying?
No, like, we stayed at a new hotel. I'm not going to name the hotel because I don't want them to get in trouble, but it's like we stayed at a new hotel, nice hotel, but on the 8th floor was like laundry. So like I went up
in the hotel. Okay.
Yeah, in the hotel.
Okay.
So I went up to the 8th floor and I washed. Johnny, I was watching the game. I'm watching Leafs play Montreal. I'm watching the game. After the first period, I go up, I take it from the washer, throw it in the dryer, pay, and I set my timer. 35 minutes later, I come back at TV timeout, and I grab the stuff, and I'm like, there's no underwear here. And I'm like,
you would need a key to get in there to get
you do. You need to swap your key. So I'm like, okay, exactly what O said. Maybe it's caught like in the washer, caught under a lid. Nothing. Like, I scoured that place, like, and I gave it like the once over. I'm like,
dude, there's an employee doing jumping jacks in your underwear.
So I was like,
awful things.
Something went sideways on it, and I called back today to just go, listen, I didn't have the best experience or whatever. Talked about the cockroach who was sleeping, and then I said but I said the gaunch was a little bit of a.
You got to find a new hotel, man. It's that simple. Like you can't, well, Johnny. You'll be down in Tampa. You keep your head on a swivel, man. Keep your head on a swivel.
I'll be doing a full scouting report. I don't need to worry about the laundromat so much because I'll just go buy new underwear. I won't even do the laundry. Yes. I'll just go get new stuff.
Yeah.
But the cockroach, I can't. I'm not an outdoorsy person. I came from Scarborough. There's no. Like there's no animals. I don't like lizards. I don't like snakes. I don't like any insects. I'm like a 10-year-old child when that stuff comes around. I would if I saw a cockroach in the room, I would probably get up and just leave the hotel immediately. Like I would just go somewhere else that night.
Yeah.
Say sorry. That's getting invoiced to whoever, not me, but whatever.
100%. No chance I'm staying there. Well, listen, I guess that's consistent with the way the NHL has started this year. Noodles' travel experiences are equivalent to some of the funky stuff we've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just crazy stuff going on, Johnny.
Where do we start?
Hang on, Noodles.
Detroit. Go ahead.
Real quick, before we go to Detroit, in your entire, let's say, junior career forward, did either one of the two things that Nedeljkovic did last night happen to you at any point ever?
Not
like he
were talking about
he had the flipper from center, which I always think Vesa Toskala when that happens. They did the Islanders all those years ago, and then the attempted clearing out by his blue line in overtime. Those are two once in a career things. They happen 90 seconds apart. That's craziness.
I've obviously, and I would fully admit, I've allowed awful goals. Awful. But I did get scored on from just outside the blue line, but it was a slap shot. It wasn't
I couldn't put that in.
Yeah, but this was going wide and short hops in. At that one, and then this one, I don't know. He just let up on it. I think he just tried to fire it through him.
He tried to go 5-hole. Why are you going 5-hole?
Noodles, wouldn't you think after letting in that muffin, he would say, I just don't need to take this risk here? You would think that would be the first thing that entered his head.
I actually went to bed, thinking about this, Nedeljkovic, and I was my heart hurt for him. I like him as a goaltender. I think, it was an awful 2 minutes of his, life there that, he's going to be on highlight reels forever.
Oh, yeah, that's top 10. Both of them are in the top 10 forever. That's the amazing thing. They're both top 10 worthy in the same game within 90 seconds apart.
Just awful.
Yeah, it's crazy. And, we mentioned Todd McClellan, who's losing it on his team, game 1 of the season in Detroit. And I'm curious how you would look at that or hear that if you're the Leafs, who are in Detroit tomorrow night and then have the Red Wings at home on Monday. The Leafs won on Wednesday. They didn't love their game, but they found a way to win. Do you think is this ripe for the picking? Are you scared of what could come from Detroit tomorrow night? What would you expect if you're the Maple Leafs and you hear the coach, blast into his team like that?
I'm thinking that we better be ready for them to come out hard, right? If nothing else, they're going to skate, they're going to hit, they're going to be engaged, they're going to be chippy. He's looking for an emotional reaction, and whether it's well-executed game plan, that might not happen, but be ready for them to come at you with some speed and physicality. But you also know, if in the middle of game 1 and after game 1, the coach is snapping, it's kind of a fragile group as well. So if you can play well, if you can get them on their heels, if you can get to their goaltenders, then you might be in for a good night yourself because you have a bit of a wounded opponent in front of you and back-to-back as well. Detroit's a funny team. Last year, they were really good at the power play. I think they were tied for the league lead in power play goals, but they don't score a bunch 5-on-5. They bring in John Gibson to be the answer. I did one preseason game. He was not good at all in the preseason game, for whatever that was worth. He wasn't particularly good, didn't finish game number 1 against Montreal. Of all the teams, if you're going to talk about Buffalo taking a jump or maybe Detroit taking a jump, I think Detroit is the further away, less likely of them doing something good. But if you're the Leafs, they are a prideful group. They'll be better and be ready certainly to start the game.
As far as the Leafs, Johnny, Chief talking about their puck play, and he said it wasn't good and it's got to improve. Is that like, for you, defense to forwards, getting back in position, just managing it on entries? What do you think of when you think of puck play?
I think of when it looks good, it all sort of flows together. All the stuff you just talked about, right? Defense and going back, interchanges with their goalie, support in the right places at the right time, plays out of the zone, whether it's a chip out or a pass out, and it all flows together cohesively. And it didn't look like that against Montreal. It was a whole bunch. It was choppy. It was disjointed, and it didn't allow them to look very good. So that's a work in progress. But as I talked to you guys about, right, last week, the Leafs didn't look good in preseason. This is sort of a continuation from the A group, from what we saw when they played in preseason. It wasn't a real fluid effort for them. The guy that I thought, though, that was the best player on the ice for them is Morgan Rielly. I thought for what you expect out of him and what he does well, that was the closest player playing like his best game. Up in the ice, he probably could have had 3 goals. He had 1. He timing it really well. He wanted to skate. He wanted to shoot. He wanted to be aggressive. And I thought he did all those things in a timely manner appropriately to look really good. But yeah, I think the forward lines are still very much a work in progress. And I thought Morgan Rielly was really good. I thought Anthony Stolarz was really good. Beyond that, there's work to be done.
Yeah. And, Johnny, last hour we were talking about the Easton Cowan conversation. I just pointed to the schedule. What do you make of it? I mean, this is a team that plays Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and the following Tuesday as well. So there's lots of games to be had here. Do we just need to be patient before we see Easton Cowan, or what do you make of, his whole situation?
He'll play at some point in that next stretch of games. I think Noodles. They're not going to go undefeated. I guess, Craig Berube's thinking winning a lineup, give the new guys a chance to sort of gel a little bit. Nick Robertson really did play quite well in the preseason. You don't want to yo-yo him right out of the lineup because he didn't, he wasn't great, although he had a couple of good looks against Detroit in the game. And Cowan, I don't think they want to play on the 4th line. I think he liked that Lorentz, Roy, and Yardcroak line, right? They scored a goal. They were in the offensive zone, so I don't think he's going to go in there. So basically, you're going to take out Nick Robertson. I think is essentially the swap that you would go to before you do anything else. And given that they won, and given that they probably want to let everyone get a little continuity, he's going to be patient. But I know everyone's clamoring for Easton Cowan to get in lineups, as is Easton Cowan. You got to remember, though, he's still just a first-year pro. He's also going to be entering the lineup as a third-line right winger. Coming from a right winger, third-line right winger might be the most pedestrian position on the team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get a lot of power play time. You're not going to get a ton of ice time. You're not going to get matched up with their best players or their worst players. You're just sort of doing it. So even when he gets in the lineup, I would just temper expectations about, what a guy in that role could do in his situation.
Well, I played third-line kind of center right wing where it's like you're going out there, and it's not like you're filling time. You're playing with some good players, but it's not the high-end skill game that you're used to. And then you're getting courtesy second unit power play time. But on the Leafs, as bad as their power play was the other night, like, what are we talking about, 15 seconds of power play time? So to get in any kind of rhythm will be awfully difficult.
Yeah, and you know what? That's another thing, too. You mentioned, the power play. I know they gave up a shorty, and that was a really poor pass. I think it was Nylander kind of put it between Matthews and Nyes and left everyone hanging out to dry. But just generally speaking, didn't look dangerous, didn't enter the zone cleanly. And you know what? The zone entry thing, I don't want to go back to Mitch Marner too many times, but that is one area where they will miss Mitch Marner. He was good at making plays at the blue line and getting possession and getting things set up, and that might be one area that they'll have to work through maybe more than anywhere else to deal with his absence.
With Mike Johnson, our TSN hockey analyst. So the Oilers and Canucks play tomorrow night, and I believe Skinner's going to get the start. We were talking about Nedeljkovic, and Skinner wasn't far off with what he was doing with that third goal the other night. The Oilers, they still got a point. They're going to be very good this year. But the last 2 years, they have had horrible starts, and then they have figured it out. Through one game, there's no reason to believe it's going to go one way or the other. But do you think that would be like a constant conversation for them? Like, do you think Knobloch's kind of hammering that? Like, let's not just throw away October here. Why put yourself in that position? And if so, how big of a kind of bounce back for Skinner in particular is tomorrow night?
I would imagine the team is pretty aware of it. I mean, they're a veteran group. They've been around together for a few years, had great success in the postseason. But, yeah, it gets harder than it has to be in the second half because of their slow starts. And there's no reason to have a slow start given everybody is basically back other than Zach Hyman, who is hurt, and maybe Evander Kane, who's left from last year's team. So, yeah, I would expect them to be good. Now, having said that, at the 25-minute mark of their game against Calgary, I thought the game was going to end up 8-1 for Edmonton. I mean, they were killing them. They were all over them. McDavid is setting speed records left and right like he's a professional skater. It looked like it was going to be one-way traffic, and then a couple goals. And yes, Skinner looks terrible on that goal, but Evan Bouchard, I think both of them bear some responsibility. Like, if Bouchard is going back to Skinner saying, no, I don't want it, and then Skinner shoves it to the corner. Or if Skinner is saying, here it is, take it. But there was miscommunication. It wasn't just Skinner lazily. He thought Bouchard was going to take it. He was looking for Bouchard to handle it. So maybe both of them bear some responsibility. But what's going to happen, Hazy, this whole year for Edmonton is the dynamic of that team and the reality that they have already shopped for an addition to their goaltending group all summer unsuccessfully. Every time they lose, and it might be the goalie's responsibility, every time they win and the goalie plays poorly, it will come up as if, can you win a cup? Is this goaltending worthy of this team? And that's Noodles could tell. That'd be a pretty tricky place for the goalies to be. And I don't think that's going anywhere unless they both play exceptionally well.
I agree. And I actually wanted you guys all to weigh in. You probably talked about it yesterday, but Johnny, we have you on. That goal is casual. Like, you're right. The Oilers should have won that game 6-1, 7-1. There's two things that stood out for me. Dustin Wolf at 3-0 didn't allow it. Like, it was fantastic, because Calgary wasn't very good. But Edmonton, Darnell Nurse turns that puck over on the first goal. It's casual this, casual that. So on that Blake Coleman goal, if I'm a goaltender, you're right. Like, you're the general. You're the guy directing traffic. You see what's coming, okay? So you see Bouchard coming back. You see Coleman coming onto him. Like, my whole thought process is, right, you go take it or you pop it to the corner and you let Bouchard skate into that. But the fact that there's no communication and you stand there
and leave it under your feet.
Your feet are wide apart. Your 5-hole is wide open, and you move your stick out of the way, and then Coleman goes, "I'll just poke this in if you want." If you guys are not like, it was insane, that goal. Like, for me, insane, because that's the goaltender's responsibility. Regardless, like, I know Bouchard has to own some of it, but there's an argument. There's people arguing in Edmonton of whose fault that is. I'm sorry, that's the goalie's fault. He has to make the call. You pop it to the corner. At worst case scenario, I've always been taught, chip it to the corner and let the guy have a 50-50 battle in the corner if you want to bumble it around. But the fact that you just stood there, not backing it up with a paddle, not backing it up with a pad, standing with your feet shoulder width apart, and Coleman just pops it in. The look on Bouchard's face is like, what are we doing here? Well, he's always
Noodles,
got a weird look on his face.
Doesn't the goaltender have the
a little confused?
Doesn't the goaltender have the ultimate King Daddy topper whenever the criticism starts to say, I was in the last 2 Stanley Cup finals, so what about that?
Well, I get
he does. When everyone starts saying, the goaltending, what about the goaltending? He can always fall back on, I've been in the Stanley Cup finals 2 in a row.
You're right.
It's been the All-Star game,
so,
too, right?
You're right. But let's break this down, guys. Like, all of us weigh in. You're right. He's been in the All-Star game. 2 years ago, he played 82 games, 59 in the regular season, 23 in the playoffs. But he also, his backup had to come in for a reset both times, okay? And when you look at it, in those games, those critical games, go back to Game 7. They lost 2-1. Was Sam Reinhart's game-winning goal brilliant?
No.
It wasn't great.
Shouldn't go in.
It wasn't. Okay. And in Game 6, there's the point being, there's lots of blame to go around. And I don't think Edmonton is sweating today about their goaltending. But I think what they are looking at it is going, can we get over the hump, and is he the guy going to deliver it? Which it's a fair question. And, Johnny, you're bang on saying every time there's an off goal, because if that was Vasilevsky that let it in or Shesterkin last night, we're chuckling about it going, geez, that's a miscommunication. Stuart Skinner, he can't allow that because of the amount of attention on him. That's the difference. Because I think he's a good goalie, but the problem is he's been allowing one bad goal a game, it seems like, for a while, and it's at the wrong time. And that was at the wrong time in Game 1 the other day that let Calgary back into the game.
Such a polarizing player. Like, his career is a fascinating one. And like what makes him so unique is you could probably put your stake in the ground on either end of the spectrum and fight to the death in terms of opinion. Yeah. You know, that he shouldn't be there, get rid of him, it's awful, it's a disaster. Or the other end, hey, actually he's really good, plays well, he's been to 2 Cup finals. Like, you could make a very compelling case on both sides for him. It's crazy.
And in a crazy dynamic, guys, the McDavid contract, which of course is great for Edmonton, it probably makes life harder for the goalies because it will just exacerbate the conversation. Like, look at what's at stake here and look what we have. Or he would have all this extra money. How come we're not going to get something else? Right? Like, it just sort of fuels that narrative or that reality that at times the goaltending isn't as good as they want it to be.
Well, last thing on this. You're right, Hayes. You can make a case. So in a positive light, I can go, this guy has proven that he can play 60 games in a season, proven he can go to a Cup final. He's 26 years old and gaining more experience. Like, there is a lot to see. 6'4",
big guy, exactly.
Big guy. Like, there's a lot there. And I think that's where when Edmonton management looks at it and goes, there is a lot here. And what is the alternative? Who's out there that could replace that type of situation? But then again, what we just laid out, sometimes change is better just for the sake of change. A lateral move might change the whole narrative around that situation.
Yep. And at some point, they're going to have to make a call. Are they going to go through another trade deadline? Again, we're 1 game into the season, but I think it's going to be a topic. We know it's going to be a topic. Yep. All the way up until March, and certainly up until the playoffs. There's no disputing that. All right, Johnny, good stuff, man. Have yourself a great Thanksgiving. Thank you for doing this, and we'll catch up again next week.
All right, boys. Happy Thanksgiving. Extra on the gravy, extra on the stuffing, always.
Yes, love that. Total agreement on that side. Love that statement on the way out. There's Mike Johnson, our TSN hockey analyst, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Massive stuffing guy, big gravy guy.
Never understood the stuffing. Never really got it.
We've never seen eye to eye on that. I'm surprised. No. Like, don't take this the wrong way. But your whole vibe screams stuffing guy.
No.
Like, it screams aggressive stuffing guy.
In a former life, yes.
It's just turkey with some mash and a little gravy on the mash, and that's it. I don't
really.
Maybe a side salad. Like, I don't get involved in the stuffing.
Squash guy? Are you a squash guy? Are you
no
green beans
turnip
guy?
Mom makes me have a little turnip, but that's it. Like this.
Wow,
the other thing I always thought was for crazy people is the cranberry sauce.
Me too.
Where's that?
Yeah, what are you doing with that?
Don't get it. I
don't even like a
understand
ham. Don't like a salty ham. Don't.
I get down with a ham, man.
I like the ham. I like the ham, but I don't. The stuffing I can pass on, and the cranberry sauce, I have no reason. Like, what are you doing?
I don't get the cranberry sauce either. Like, whoever brought that to the table first must have been looked at like, what are you doing? Where did this come into your whole frame of mind?
Exactly.
I don't understand it. Now, I married into a cranberry sauce family, so it is something that's around, and it doesn't get touched on my end. But stuffing is a priority. And yet stuffing only Thanksgiving. I don't think I have it any other time of the year. Like, who's having stuffing in July or
Christmas,
something?
don't you? Don't you have a Christmas
I guess maybe
too?
a Christmas. Yeah, I guess so, Noodles. Yeah, I guess
just
you're right.
whenever, 2 times when turkey's involved.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, 2 times a year. You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Put me down for twice.
Exactly.
Put me down twice. Stuffing, gravy, turkey, the whole 9. All right. Dear Hazy B coming up. We got our best bets as well. And again, the Jays have their feet up, and they're playing Sunday night, 8:08 Sunday night. And then on Monday, it's likely a 5:08 start. I believe it depends on if the Brewers or the Cubs win. I don't quite understand why it matters.
So what are the options for Monday?
5:08 if the Brewers win, 4:38 if the Cubs win.
And the Leafs play at what time on Monday?
At 4 o'clock. Yes.
Oh, my Lord.
It's the overlapping of the Leafs and the Jays. Very disappointing. Very disappointing.
Couldn't they change that now? Like, isn't there?
Yeah, you would have to think somebody might pull the trigger on that.
When have the Leafs ever in their existence moved for anybody?
Wow,
You know, I can tell you the Jays aren't moving.
Yeah,
They're not the ones moving. The Jays playing in the championship series are not like, we better consider what the Leafs are doing. But you're right. I mean, that does happen with other teams where they feel they got to move their time up or TV scheduling or whatever.
It just would only make sense to move the game to a different time.
Get the Leafs playing at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Play at 2. Move the Leafs up. Hashtag. Let's start that campaign right now.
I agree.
Yes.
Hashtag move to 2?
Move to 2. Hashtag. Spread the
I
news.
bet you it'll happen.
Get the Leafs out of 4 p.m. Send a message now. It's at home, so you got to tell the ticket holders and everything.
Yeah, but still, they could do it. I'm calling a 1 o'clock game in Ottawa. Nashville at Ottawa, 1 o'clock. Why couldn't they have a 1 or 2 o'clock start that day?
There you go.
We all could be watching that game.
Yes. Why are the Leafs playing at 4? Get out of here.
Yeah.
Why?
Exactly.
The Jays could be playing at 4:38 or 5. I don't want to have to deal with the overlap again. Not interested in that.
No.
And I don't know what the precedence is down there at the Jays game, like showing the Leaf stuff. You know, the Leafs will be showing the Jays, but
yeah.
Anyway. All right. Let's get the movement going. Move up. Leafs. First time ever. It's not about you. It's about the Blue Jays. Step aside.
It'll happen. I bet you it'll happen.
Okay. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Everybody get your roll on. I know shorty and she doesn't want no
Mail It In Friday brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you'll get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza.
You reading that email right now?
Which one's coming in? Did I miss
from
something?
the Maple Leafs. Monday's game's been moved to 2 p.m.
Are you serious?
I swear to
That's actually legit. That just came in. We just started that. Dude, the Leafs are listening, and they said that's a great idea.
That is so smart.
Maple Leafs move to 2 p.m. to avoid conflict with the Jays and create a magical Monday for Toronto fans.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. What
awesome.
a setup for the Leafs and the Jays.
Great job, fellas.
Great
That's
job,
how you
Leafs.
get to the people.
Round of applause.
And we started a hashtag. We can actually take credit for that. That's great.
Listen, we try to be as humble as we can on this show. It is, Dear Hazy B, where we try to help people. I think we just help people more than anything else we could ever possibly do in our wildest dreams.
Did you think there was a chance the Leafs weren't going to move that game?
I never thought of it until you brought it up.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Honestly, I forgot they were playing at an afternoon game at 4 p.m. Now, this might be also the city saying, dude, we can't have
gridlock
on
everywhere.
a holiday Monday the traffic downtown at Scotiabank and the Dome. Like, Bremner would look like Woodstock, between the two stadiums. But what a vibe downtown, man. That's going to be unbelievable. And this is going to jam somebody up who had their plans set up on Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Monday.
of course.
Right. Someone had let's bring people over at noon, get them out at 3, I can get down to the Leaf game, and now they play at 2 and things are changing. That guy's got to go to his wife now and say, why don't we actually think of maybe we do dinner, or maybe a Sunday looks good.
Just do it. Push it to Sunday.
Sunday looks great.
I think you should push everything to Sunday and then keep your Monday so that now listen, if you're going to couch, you're going to have a hell of a couch. You're going to have noon, meat, turkey and stuffing and all of that, and 2 p.m. watching the Leafs. And what time is the Jays game?
4:38 or 5:08.
Either way. Packers play at 4:30 or something.
That's
don't
right.
They, Hayes?
Yes, they play the afternoon, and the night game is Chiefs Lions.
Wow.
Like, it just sets up to be an all-time day. And I think the move, like if I was younger, sometimes I think this way. I'm like, if I was still like 20, I think you'd want the Sunday family stuff.
Yeah.
And then Monday on your own to be able to kind of do whatever you want to do, right? And like, because there's going to be some conflict of interest here. Like, it's coming my way. Like, we're hosting on the Monday. I'm going down to the Jays game. So I'm going to be leaving.
Work-related.
Yeah, work-related. Exactly. I got to work. Exactly. I mean, Noodles, you're doing the same thing. You're calling a game. It happens.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm going to be kind of tiptoeing out of there, and I'm not sure what the reaction's going to be like.
That's going to be tough, man. That is going to be tough.
After watching the Leaf game for 2 hours.
Yeah. Even if they know that you're going, as soon as you stand up and you're kind of antsy to get cooking, it's just you're going to get a death stare.
Yeah.
Like a death stare.
You're right. They're coming down the stairs in the suit, like, all right.
Great to see you guys.
Great
kids. See you later. Come and say bye before I go to bed.
Yeah. That one's it'll be a challenge. It'll be a tightrope. But how about that, man? I love it. Good for the Leafs.
Yeah,
good for the NHL, right?
Smart, though.
Good
smart.
Yeah, smart move. You do not want the overlapping. You got Jays ALCS Game 2 at 5 o'clock. And, we referenced it earlier. It's just got to be an incredible feeling if you're John Schneider and his staff tonight where, you can either set up maybe at a bar, maybe in someone's basement, maybe you go to the stadium and you're sitting in the clubhouse.
I bet you that's what they would do.
You think so? Order some food in, couple beers, put your feet up and say, we're taking notes, but we're not.
You're scouting.
Because they could be playing tonight. Like, it could be Game 5 tonight. You know how different the mood in the city would be if they lost Games 3 and 4 at Yankee Stadium and we're playing tonight?
It would be so antsy, man. It would be so antsy.
Yes.
But there's no way in hell they'd be out in public. Can you imagine those guys wheeling into a bar, like a sports bar?
Well,
Loose Moose on front.
Yeah, even though they could reserve the whole area, they're not doing it. They're probably in the clubhouse down there at the Dome.
Yeah,
they
you're
are
probably right.
100% because they're pre-scouting. They're working. They're going to watch the game intently, and then they're going to go back and watch it again and again, and they're pre-scouting because they're going to know who they're playing right away and go, okay, this is what we're preparing for. We're preparing. And they probably have two sets of, situations where, okay, pitching this way.
Totally.
This is what we're doing because
100%.
Our opponent is this. So I think they'll be working tonight. Yes, there might be some
Can you have beers?
and all that.
Are beers okay
sure.
tonight, or would that be like if Shapiro walks in and you didn't know he was coming? You're like, oh,
dude, what are you talking about? Haven't you seen these guys in the celebrations? They have clubhouse celebrations, and they play a couple days later. So a couple casuals is fine.
Okay.
100%.
Just asking.
These
I'm
guys
not talking
have
the
beers.
players. The players likely won't be in there. The players will be doing their own thing. Half the team probably won't watch the game tonight. Tell us who we're playing.
I think they'll be watching.
You think all of them are watching tonight?
I would bet every single one of them. There wouldn't be one guy that wouldn't be watching that game.
Okay.
I think
I
there's
hope you're
one.
right.
I think there's always one that'll be like, I'm going to a movie. Let me know who we're playing.
I think there's one
always
too,
one.
man.
I've only played with one guy that never watched any kind of NHL hockey. Anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Just didn't do it. Not that he refused. He goes, I just don't watch it. I don't watch anything.
He's
and I remember thinking, there's got to be players that he's seeing on the ice thinking, I've never seen that guy before. I don't know anything that guy does. I don't know any tendencies. I don't know if he's tough. Just never watched a single game.
You're playing in Arizona. He's never seen that team play before.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Never.
Who is that?
Those are cool jerseys, man.
Yeah, that guy's a good skater.
Wow.
That
Who's that
Shane
guy?
Doan.
97.
Doan, yeah.
Never heard of him. Well, okay, we got everyone down at the clubhouse and casuals watching the game tonight, but scouting and prepared. But, man, the power of this show, sometimes it comes to the forefront. Leafs moving at 2 p.m. Hashtag. Took about 5 minutes for the Leafs to say, great idea, we're following through. All right, Dear Hazy B coming up. Best Bets coming up as well. Mail It In Friday brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and up on YouTube Live.
Sunday on TSN 1050, Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions take on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in prime time. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The NFL lives here. Now, Back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
People send in a tweet. They write us for our professional advice on life things. Dear Hazy B, every morning my boiler has a gas leak. My wife thinks it's the baby.
Dear Hazy B.
If you want to come to Hazy B, I need honesty from you.
Hazy, you got dumped a lot. Tell him.
Grown adults with birthdays, it's asinine.
All right, Dear Hazy B, brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza.
This one's got a Dear Hazy B written all over it. Dear Hazy B, somehow I pulled off the impossible. I beat the bots on Ticketmaster and scored Game 1 ALCS tickets at face value. Now they're worth 4 times as much for resale. Here's the issue. Me and my fiance have some big house renos coming and a wedding next year. My head says sell them, be smart, but my heart says go to the game, live a little. You can't really put a price on October baseball. So what do I do, Hazy B? Be the mature adult, fund a new garage door and our wedding, or go to the game and witness some ALCS magic at the Dome that no kitchen renovation could ever top. Signed, torn between a mortgage and a moon shot.
Ooh, man, that's good stuff. This is really complicated because it's Game 1 ALCS. You know, like a part of me would say, I think the move is to sell.
Yeah.
And I know that's crazy. I think it is to sell because it's Game 1 Championship Series, not World Series, not Game 7.
It all depends on how much importance this guy has. Because you can, like, watching the game is watching the game. How much importance does he have being on site? You know what I mean? Like, you're not missing it regardless. How
right,
much
exactly.
important...
The game's on TV. You're watching the game. And are you a Leaf fan? You get to watch the Leaf game too. You know, who are you going with? Is everyone in agreement, or do you have to still make that decision? And does that complicate things? Because are you bringing the fiance? Are you bringing a family member, a friend? Are you rolling it into a massive night?
Yes.
You know?
If the fiance is sniffing around and asking any questions about anything, she's going.
Right.
I just, like, I hate to tell you, but she's going.
Sell the tickets. If it was Game 7 of the World Series, I think it's a different. You sell it. And then you watch it at home, you celebrate it, and then every time you walk in that brand new kitchen, you go, hey, that's, the Jays helped fund this. Mm-hmm. That's the way you look at it. And hopefully they go to the World Series so you can actually try and beat the bots again.
Well, exactly. I mean, the next round they're going to open it up to tickets again.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they've sold, all like games 1, 2, 6, and 7 already. So maybe you can get down to Detroit too. Maybe get a little road trip, cheaper seats. I get this probably isn't what you want to hear. I'm sure he was hoping we would say, you got to go, man, live a little, right? I think he was pushing in that direction.
Well, you got to sniff around first and see what kind of vibe you're getting. And if you get any kind of bad feeling or any kind of horse eye, you're out. And
very true. Here's another thing you can do is ask for way too much money. Like ask for a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
Sabotage it?
Well, not necessarily, but like if it's accepted, you say, well, hey, man, I got
turn that down.
Exactly. Right? 6 times the price set. But if it doesn't get accepted, then you're in a spot where I tried. Mentally, you can be like, I tried to sell them, man. They didn't meet my price.
2 tickets, top row, 75 hunch. And then just see what kind of – that's sabotaging it so you're not going on purpose.
It kind of is. But maybe like morally, ethically, you can say I gave it a shot. And then you can win on both ends. But I think, it feels like the brain is going to beat the heart on this one. Hate to be the bearer of bad news.
I agree.
Yeah, you're not going.
You're probably not going. What else do you have?
All right, it's a long one. Dear Hazy B, I'm in the middle of a full-blown Thanksgiving road trip debacle, and I need an official hazy ruling before I lose my mind. I'm working out of town this week, wrapping up at 5 p.m., then driving 2 hours to Toronto to pick up my girlfriend and her sister so we can head to Ottawa for Thanksgiving dinner with the family. Sounds simple, right? Wrong. My girlfriend lives in Liberty Village, her sister Church in Wellesley. I suggest we meet at the girlfriend's place because, efficiency, teamwork, basic geography. But apparently her sister thinks she lives on the way to Ottawa. My girlfriend agrees. Suddenly I'm the bad guy for not wanting to make a downtown detour through the Hunger Games that is on Friday rush hour. So here I am after a full day's work being told that threading the needle through downtown traffic in a packed car is basically the same route. Hazy B, am I out of line for asking for one pickup, or do I just need to accept that logic and geography go out the window? The second family holidays are involved.
Are you in the right to suggest that your life should be made a little bit easier before you drive from work to Ottawa? Of course you're in the right.
Yes. I don't think it's out of the question to say this is where this is happening.
Totally reasonable to say, hey, can we all meet in Liberty Village, and then I'll make the 4.5-hour drive. No one else has to drive.
No.
I'm doing it, my car, my gas, everything. Totally reasonable.
But there's a but there.
Yeah, there's a
You're not going to see that happen, okay? No. I married into a sister thing. They are so close, and you're never going to win. And if your girlfriend has sided with the pickup, you're doing the pickup. Like, it's that simple. You're doing the pickup.
I know, but this guy's got to work a full day and then wheel down through all of this. I don't think it's that unreasonable. I don't really think it's that unreasonable. I feel like I'm having this argument with you.
No, dude, totally reasonable and respectful of everyone involved to say you got to get down to Liberty Village for a one pickup so we can figure this out. And Liberty Village to Wellesley and Church is absurd. Like, Wellesley and Church, there's no way to get to that, really. Like, you kind of have to go through the city to do that. But I'm telling you, the sisters are, if they're in agreement, and especially if your girlfriend is the older sister, you just got to bite the bullet, man. You're doing the double pickup. That's what you're doing.
Is there an option?
Happening.
Is there an option to get her from Liberty to Wellesley and Church like in an Uber, and you can meet at a time so that you don't have to go through that nonsense? Maybe there's an option where you got to spend,
Noodles.
An Uber Comfort, it costs you $28, but that $28 is investment in your time. So you send it for her at X amount of times.
Dude, I totally get that. That's a great one. Uber X, nice ride, whatever, something nice. Pick them both up, meet at the 400, 401.
It buys you time, so you go, I'm going to get you an Uber this early, and we're going to meet here. This is going to be the meeting spot. I'm going to time the Uber. And then that way you're not – you don't have to jam up to go through traffic, go get her, and then go back up.
Brilliant.
There might be an Uber in there. That's what I'm thinking.
Brilliant call. It is so ignorant as well to suggest that Wellesley and Church is on the way to Ottawa.
Nothing's on the way to Ottawa and Toronto, man.
No, exactly. Cobourg is on the way to Ottawa.
That's
Kingston is on the way. Wellesley and Church. Exactly. The Big Apple is on the way to Ottawa. Wellesley and Church, if you're on the TTC line, it's not on the way.
Yeah.
You're in the city.
Just think about the grind from Liberty Village to there.
After the work and the drive-in to get there, it's a long weekend. It would just be awful to make
your
that
clothes
drive.
will just melt when you get to Ottawa.
And once you're in the car, you're an Uber driver effectively for the next 4.5 hours too.
Yeah. You're listening to gossip, all of it.
Oh yeah,
you got nothing.
You are contributing nothing but driving.
On. That's it. Put headphones on and drive.
But I'm telling you, I know what this guy's going through. And if it's been determined that you're doing the pickup, guess what you're doing?
You're doing the pickup.
You're doing the pickup.
Just
and
do
that's
the
the way
Uber
it's going to
pickup,
be.
though. Send the Uber, and then you're in good shape.
That's not a bad call, Noodles. That's a very smart play.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what did we accomplish today? We got the Leafs to move their game from 4 to 2 p.m.
Yeah, that's
we're taking credit for that, clearly, even though it was
for us.
4 minutes after we said it.
Yeah, a team against the team that's coach hates them already.
Yep, against Detroit. Well, my boy Chris Clark sent me a text saying it could be Detroit-Toronto ×2 on Monday.
Yeah, it's true.
Red Wings and Tigers in town on Monday.
Double shot.
How crazy will that be? Best Bets powered by FanDuel. We're on the Chiefs. On the Jags. We're riding with Hayes and Bro. All right, Hayes and Bro on fire right now. Jags Chiefs. Those are your plays this weekend, this Sunday. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Same game parlays now available for every NFL game on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly, 18 plus, physically located in Ontario. All right, boys. Good stuff. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. Right. What a weekend it's going to be. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and, of course, up on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy your weekends. We're back Tuesday at...
Drive yourself to Ottawa, and that's it. 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.